Hello and welcome to So Darn Fun. I'm Carrie and this is a channel about quality clothing alterations, pattern reviews, and useful sewing how-tos. I literally have less than 2 hours before this dress is due, so today a quick practical tip on how you can hem all the underlayers of this dress in one step. Don't go away. Hold the intro! This is a quick practical tip, so let's just get to it. I'm going to try to show you a close-up of just this area here. I'm going to lift the top layers that I already have hemmed and just throw them over the back of good old Helga here. And that's going to reveal the petticoat underneath. And if you'll notice, at least on my dress, all these fluff layers are sewn to just one lining right here. If I take up this lining and take a tuck in it, the amount that I hemmed the rest of the dress, and that lifts all of these fluffy layers the same amount, and I only get to do one stitching around, not 1, 2, 3, which would be, I've got one lining layer and 2 layers of crinoline. The problem I run into with taking it up right here is that I'm turning around here. This is the back. Here's the zipper. The zipper actually sews down into here, so it's impossible to take a tuck right there. So if I lift this first layer of crinoline, I have got a huge area under here. This whole area that I can use to take a tuck. I need to take it up 6 inches. So if I can take a tuck in this area, 3 inches, I'm going to put this on the table and draw a line around it so it's neater, and it's a little awkward for me to hold this. Put a pin right there. You can see how that leaves a little flap. I'll leave that flap in. Just leave it. Nobody can see it. So let's take it to the table and draw a nice line around there. The shaping is like this. It's narrower at the top, wider at the bottom. I know that when I sew around, it's not going to be a one-to-one. I'm going to have to take some little pleats in the bottom as I sew. But it's an underlayer. Nobody is going to care. Nobody's going to see it. In fact, the person wearing this dress probably will never even know. So let's take it to the table. You can see that I have the layers that I'm not going to want getting in the way in a bag. So here is the seam line that I'm going to work below right here. I'm going to take in 6 inches. So what I want to do first, I think I'm going to measure 3 inches below this seam line. It's just an arbitrary number, and it's going to be rough here. This isn't going to be nice and tidy and completely accurate. Plus, it's kind of hard to get in to measure this seam here. Now that I've got this roughly marked all the way around, about 3 inches below where this crinoline layer is sewn on, I want to mark where my fold is going to be. Not my stitching line, but my fold. I think it'll be easier to know what I'm doing. So being that I want to take it up 6 inches total, I'm going to make a line another 3 inches below this line. And then I'll show you what my plan is. Here's my markings. Hopefully you can see. This is the essence of what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold on the bottom one, pin on the top one. And as I fold in, I know that this part I'm turning under is fuller than the top. So we're going to have a little bit of pleating that's going to happen underneath. You know, that's okay. We're in a hurry. This doesn't show, and whether it's neat or whether it's done a little bit more awkwardly is going to have the same effect. Anyway, so my next step when I have this pinned is I am going to take it to the machine and we'll stitch it up real quick. So this is what the underskirt looks like. Lifting up this layer here, the first layer, and then we see the tuck that we took. I pressed it, as you saw, to make it go where it needs to go and to erase the friction pen that I used on it. And you can see that it lays nicely, doesn't cause any problems, and we have shortened that underlayer in one step. So let's take a peek what it looks like. All right, here's the hem that we saw earlier. And there's our underlayers. at the appropriate length. They don't stick down underneath anymore. Yep, just what we want. I'm so glad you joined me today on So Darn Fun. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, ask a question, and I'll see you next time.